Mgomo wa wauguzi umeanza na tunaarifiwa kwamba muda wowote kuanzia sasa, kama haijaanza, ni kwamba Waziri wa Leba Ukur Yattani atakuwa anazungumza na wanahabari kueleza msimamo wake kuhusiana na mgomo huo.
Our meeting today is to launch this conciliation committee. The issues of contentions are well known to the parties. And on appointment of a conciliation committee by the Cabinet Secretary Labour, parties in conflict, they have no choice but to obey the conditions as per the law of this country, the national labor laws. We expect them to seize the opportunity to air their views and, put the matters on the table, so that they can be discussed and appropriate recommendations are made, which are going to file in court at a later time. So, before I introduce the committee, I want to know if the parties to the disputes are present. Do we have representatives of the Council of Governors? Can you introduce your team?
My name is of the Council of Governors. I'm accompanied by my colleague Sharon. We expect CECs for help. They're on the way.
Ministry of Health, I know I see the Principal Secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Tum, and most welcome.
Thank you.
Do you have any other party? Any other representative from Health? PS, are you alone or you came with a...
Chair, thank you very much. Like you've said, my name is Peter Tum, Principal Secretary, Ministry of Health. My team that have accompanied me have the Director of HR, Catherine, the representative of the Director of Medical Services, Dr. Wamai, and that is the group, and the Chief Finance Officer from my ministry.
I think we're also here with the labor officers of this ministry who will be forming the bulk of the conciliation secretariat. Kiruga, you start and then introduce the rest of the team.
Yeah, thank you, Bonasias. My name is Isaiah Kirugwa, Acting Labor Commissioner, and I'm accompanied by Mr. Geoffrey Mondi, who is the Chief Industrial Relations Officer in the ministry. We have Mrs. Elizabeth Onuko, Deputy Labor Commissioner at the headquarters. And we also have Helena Pio, who is also Deputy Labor Commissioner, International Affairs. I think that's the team we have from the Ministry of Health. So, Chris.
Do you have any other party present?
I think we have Chris Huka. Chris Huka, the technical personal assistant to the CS. We have Zara. Zara, the PA to the Cabinet Secretary. And that's the team.
Do you have a representative of the union, the Kenya National Union of Nurses? Are they represented in this meeting?
I understand they are in the boardroom. They didn't want to appear before the press, but they are in the boardroom waiting for the meeting.
So we register that the parties are here, except the workers, the officials who represent the workers in this matter. So, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the team that we appointed. We have the chair, who is Aaron Maura. Aaron Maura has been a member of the National Labor Board. He's in private practice and is a renowned, practitioner in labor matters, well versed with issues in the labor relations, particularly for the public sector. We also have one of the members, Moses Ombok. Moses Ombok represents the Federation of Kenya Employers. These are representatives of our social partners that we work with on development on policies, that we also work with on issues of labor relations. One of the members is yet to join us, Benson Okwaro, who is the Deputy Secretary General of COTU. I think will be joining us in the next few minutes. So I want to welcome you once again. I wish to reiterate the importance of this committee. It's provided for in the Labor Relations Act. In situations where the Cabinet Secretary in charge of labor matters feels that a notice of strike has been given and the issues at hand are in public interest and in enormous public interest for this matter, he is empowered by law to appoint a committee or a conciliator, either a conciliation committee or a conciliator to sit between the parties, look at the issues at hand so that the matters can be processed for the full benefit of the parties in dispute, but also have a direct bearing on the public. And for this matter, the strike notice given by the Kenya National Union of Nurses will directly affect this country. And coming particularly at a time when we are in the implementation phase of the universal health coverage, is not desirous for the general public in any way. I have appointed this committee. I have full confidence in the ability to execute this. And I want to request the parties before this committee to cooperate and to give them the views in a transparent and open manner. Because the matter at hand, the welfare and the lives of the people of this country should be supreme. We don't operate in isolation, we operate within the bigger society. If people are dying in hospitals, if they are going without services, and some of them are your own relatives, your own family members, your own children, I beseech you to put the interests of the people of this country in the core of the discussion that you're going to have. And I also want to reiterate that, it's important for the parties to understand that it is mandatory for the parties to cooperate. It's mandatory for particularly the union that have given notice to not to undertake the strike. You are expected to cease the industrial action and submit before the committee, process the matter with a view of getting solution. But if the parties are here and at the same time have appealed to their members to continue with the industrial action, that is in breach of the law, and they will be cited for contempt. And the other party they are at liberty to proceed to court and cite the strike illegal. And in that way is going to disadvantage the members of the union, because the employer can initiate disciplinary action against them, even withholding their salaries, at the same time even removing them from employment. I don't think that is the route that we want to go. So the parties that are not here, I'm appealing to them to make sure they take advantage and place their complaints before the committee, who I have no doubt, with the very many years of the professional undertaking, will look at the matters and recommend appropriately. On the part of the chairman and the committee members, we expect nothing short of professionalism. We expect impartiality in your undertakings, and more importantly, commitment to this process. It's a big honor, is a national duty that your government has called upon you to be a neutral arbiter to ensure the matters placed before you are processed professionally. All parties, we need cooperation. We need understanding on the same. We expect you to have open mind, because at the heart of the matters at hand is the public interest. We are very much alive to the enormous burden placed, the expectation placed on you, the committee. So we expect parties now to adhere to the timelines that we have given them. If you can even finish within before the 30 days that I have, deadline I have given you, it will be in the interest of this country. We expect not only, it may even be desirable for you to go to look at the broader perspective in such, process the matter, but also, you know, nothing will stop you to recommend matters that will help the human resource aspect of the health sector. Because from time to time we also get issues that impede human resource development within the health sector. And you know, health being a devolved function, we still have a challenge on issues of training, on issues of inter-county transfers. Maybe those are areas that maybe at a later time, as part of the annex, you can help the ministry concerned to give your views. So I want to thank you and expect that you will engage in a manner where the interests of the public will be the core of the business. I want to thank you, and I think you are now formally, inaugurated. We'll expect you now to plan your own programs. The parties will be asked to nominate equal number of, representatives, whether 5, whether more. It's up to you to discuss and agree. At the same time, you'll also be expected to plan your own programs and timelines on engagement. And by law, it's important that you understand procedurally that you'll be expected, the parties, to present their own memorandum of complaint, which we expect now from the union to tell us what are the issues, so that now they can be processed. And nothing will also stop you to invite parties who are not necessarily, before this committee. I know there are critical areas like the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, where issues of welfare, issues of, salaries and other benefits in public sector, they play a critical part. Treasury is also an important, organization in this matter. I am sure you are going to have all the necessary space and latitude to engage and discuss and have, proposals from agencies of government and even beyond who will be of, benefit, whose views will be of benefit to agreeing on appropriate recommendations. I want to thank you very much and ask PS if you have any issue that you want to mention. You are at liberty to do it. And then we'll also give you an opportunity to ask questions before and I also later invite the chairman to take over the session.
Thank you very much, CS, for calling this meeting this morning. And thank you, everybody, for coming. I think, just like you've explained, it is very, very important that we dispense of this issue as fast as we can be able to do that. Because at the end of the day, as a ministry that is among the Big Four agenda, we want industrial harmony. That is the only way we can assure the public that we are giving them what the president has promised in this country. So in my view, this is the right way to go. This is what we've all agreed, that we want to listen to everybody else, so that, like you rightly indicated, nursing is not the only cadre that we have in the ministry. We also have clinical officers, we have the doctors themselves, we have everybody else. I think we might want to expand that scope, if not now, to ensure that everybody that is working to ensure that UHC rollout is kept on its feet is hard, and the solutions sought for the little problems that we have, particularly on HR issues. Thank Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any question?
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
The NASCO's representatives raised concern as far as the constitution of the committee is concerned. They feel as though that the county governments are not represented in this meeting, and so whatever decision that will be made will not really trickle down to the counties. What's your response to that?
Foremost, I want you to understand that I have delegated the role of conciliation to a committee of three persons. Mr. Harun Maura, Moses Ombok, and Benson Okwaro. These are from the various labor social partners. And in the Act is very clear, in the Labor Relations Act, that is the way to go. So the parties that will be sitting and mediating the matter are these three people. They'll be heavily supported by a secretariat of this ministry. Well-experienced labor officers who are here. But as to who are the parties in dispute, we know the counties are involved, we know the ministry is involved. And the counties, the Council of Governors will be a critical element in this. But as we told you, the county governments have appointed representatives who are on the way. And some of them are county executive committee members who are the umbrella body representing the CEC Health. They are on the way. My role is just to inaugurate the committee. The committee is going to process their own programs and timelines, and they're going to have further engagement on when they are ready to take off. I don't know if I've answered your question. You still have doubts, but I want to tell you that the employers in this matter are two. The Ministry of Health, who's represented by the PS. Because if you look at a number of health institutions are run by the national government. But the bulk of health services are provided by the county governments. The county governments have their own body called the Council of Governors. But the Council of Governors are not the employers. The employers are the respective county governments. And the county governments have nominated COG. At the same time, they have also represented a body of CEC members representing health. The subcommittee on health are going to be in this meeting, and they are going to be available maybe in the next 1 or 2 hours so that they can agree on the timelines and move forward. Yes?
My name is Caroline B. from KTN. There's also a concern which has been raised by the masses. They issued their strike notice last year, and they say it was not until first when we constituted this conciliation committee to chair the talks. So, concerning the delays in responding to the strike notice, what took you so long?
Foremost, I want you to understand that as a Minister of Labour, we only come in at a time when we think the matter have not been sorted out between the two parties. If the two parties are not able to reach consensus, we deliberately gave them time to try to discuss on the issues, because the issues are really not rocket science. They are matters that within the ambit of both the employer and the employee to discuss, engage, negotiate, and agree. But when we realized that it was getting out of hand and they are not able to reach any agreement, we felt it is time now for the Minister of Labour to intervene and conciliate between the issues at hand, with a view of not only enriching, but looking for a solution so that the public are not affected by withdrawal of their services. Thank you very much, and I think I'll give an opportunity to the chair, whom we have now asked him, of course, going to take the matter seriously. We have a lot of expectation placed on him, and we hope he's going to prosecute his duties with commitment and the impartiality it deserves, but at the same time also to be extremely strict, because we need to move this process forward so that the members of the public are not negatively affected in whatever they are doing.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Bwana CS, and also CS Health. This is more of a launch meeting. So Bwana CS, this was more of your meeting, and we are yet to begin the business of the committee, but we are going to begin the business of the committee soon after this meeting. And so I may not have a lot to tell you for now, but I can give you an assurance that with the committee that I have, we will work tirelessly. We will work within the timelines. We will program our work so that we can be able to get the process going. Now, like I said, I can only give you the assurances for now, meaning that after this one, we'll sit and do a mapping out of how we are going to go. And as far as your concerns about the representation is concerned, it is well taken. And I can assure you this committee cannot move without the representations of the parties that are involved. And like the CS has said, we have the mandate to consult as widely as possible on the basis of what is needed to get the information that will help us to come up with some options and narrow down to the option that can well address the problem that we've been having in this sector. So this is all I can say right now. And I'm delighted that we have a competent team, we have a competent secretariat, and this thing is doable. We will deliver within the prescribed time, Bwana CS. We have the interest of the public. We understand what's happening, we understand the environment, and we understand the people who are badly affected by the situation, and we want to address it as quickly as possible. Thank you very much.
Basi asanteni sana. I think we are done, isn't it? Any concern from COG?